it was kind of a cool subject.
Is-
It reminded me of integrals in calculus, where you talk about there's like a plus c at the end of stuff, like because you don't really know. So it kind of clicked there for me.
Yeah, I liked it as well because I thought, I mean, it was kind of just an extension of what we've already been doing, just another section of the Excel spreadsheet that we haven't really looked at yet. So,
Sandy, what we got? So did you guys have any trouble with the preparation assignment?
no, I thought it was all pretty straightforward. I mean, just kind of going through the problem and wow, that's incredibly loud.
Yeah, I was like, dang, man.
I hate people like that.
Gotta turn your GTA down, you know.
Like, it's freaking Rexburg. You can't go anywhere going that fast. It's like it's too small of a town for that to make any difference. But we have to slow down again.
That's funny. So do we want to go
Anyways.
over the prep or do we want to start the quiz?
Did you have any questions or anything?
Not on the prep. I did start the quiz just because I'm usually very slow. I have a couple of questions on that, so maybe when we get to that, we can discuss it.
Okay.
Unless you guys want and need to.
No, I think the preparation was pretty straightforward. It was just pulling up the spreadsheet and just kind of stating the null and alternative and just pulling the numbers right from the spreadsheet. So it's pretty straightforward. So I'm good to go to the group quiz.
Okay.
Susan, were there any pictures on the group quiz?
Pictures? What do you mean?
Like of graphs like last time?
There were graphs. Oh, I'm so sorry. I was thinking the preparation. I'm like, what?
Oh, no, I just been on the quiz, yeah.
Let's see. Number 3 has equations. Hopefully you'll be able to see those.
I hope so too.
I do not see any graphs.
Good.
Yeah, I think you're going to be okay. Sometimes they don't load. Okay.
Two equations on B. No.
So on number 3,
yes,
with the null alternative hypothesis, you have where the beta 1 equals 0 and for the null and does not equal 0 for the alternative.
That's what I got.
Okay.
See a residual.
That is.
I think that looks like C.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just because they talked about how it's the plot that they have.
Yeah, it's y minus y hat.
Yeah. So we've got hats for pretty much half the letters of the alphabet now.
Woo! It's a hat party.
Yeah, A hat, B hat, C hat. Sounds like a Dr. Seuss book.
Yeah. A hat, B hat, C hat, D hat.
Honestly.
Red hat, blue hat, green hat, yellow hat. Yeah.
Oh man, they should write that in his name and use that as the textbook for the stats class next semester.
You can see the YouTube video now.
If I was smarter, I would do that, but intellectual impairments. I don't know, like when I was looking at number 5, I thought that the plot of residuals supported linear regression when there's no pattern to it.
Yeah.
But I think that kind of means normally distributed at the same time because there's no pattern, and it's kind of like a random distribution.
Oh, okay.
We know they're not just positive. we know we don't want to see a megaphone shape, and
you don't really want to see a shape in general.
we don't want to see a pattern. So I just picked A.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. That's what I would
I
say.
guess like when they say like normally distributed, I guess it kind of means that it's random distribution. So that would, by extension, I guess mean there's no pattern. Okay, I am not going to make this mistake again. Make sure that the explanatory and response variables go in the right columns of the flipping spreadsheet.
Yes, I picked up on that. I picked up on that too. That was just awful.
Oh man,
like,
that was
that
was so funny. It's like, oh my goodness, what did we do? So, compute the residuals for the data using software.
I kind of understand this. It says using software, compute the residuals. So is that, are we just glancing at, let me pull it up.
So if you look at
that column of residuals?
Yes, so there's column E that has the values, but then there's the scatter plot as well.
Yeah, you got the scatter plot.
So
negative 40. Let me change that real quick. That makes sense.
I don't see one that goes all the way to negative.
I didn't think so. That's what threw me off. I didn't see a negative 40.
Well, then that might not be the right answer then. I think it would be, you think it would be if they form a linear pattern? Because if you look at the scatter plot, they kind of, it looked like you could kind of draw a line of best fit through that. Like they're kind of going in that general direction.
I suppose that could be right, because they said something in one of the videos about because it's scattered and equal on both sides of the line, it's considered linear, right? Is that kind of how you guys understood it?
Yeah, I think so.
Because I was guessing between negative 40 and 25, but it was a guess. I just didn't see negative 40. I saw almost negative 20. But let's look at
there was like a negative 23.
Mm-hmm.
Is the biggest negative I saw.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And there's negative 27.
I mean, I think you can almost make it quicker if you just look at the scatter plot and kind of like lined it up to where it looks like the lowest one is on there. Because like it looks like the lowest ones on the y-axis are around like 20. That one looks like it's probably around 30. That lowest one there, and they go all the way up to around 100. So do you kind of see that there?
Okay. So do we agree that's probably B?
I think it's a pretty safe bet. I don't know about you guys.
Okay.
Do you think that sounds good, Jesse?
Yeah.
And then for number 7?
I think it looks fairly normal.
The QQ, yeah. That mouse totally sounds like a duck. When you scroll down on your this part, whoever has one, it sounds like a duck when you do.
Oh, that's probably mine. It's kind of loud.
Okay.
So Does that sound good for number 7, that they're fairly normal?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean they're pretty on there.
Yeah,
How else to describe it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're good. I think it's B.
So on number 8, when it says use software to create a scatter plot of the data, isn't that already a scatter plot that the spreadsheet already has?
The scatter plot, residuals plot, and the QQ plot.
Well, you mean the QQ and the one we make on the scatter plot? They're all a little bit different.
Oh.
The one plot that we have up top is off of column A and B, and then the scatter plot that we do is off of the residuals, the next columns.
Oh, so we need to. Does that include the explanatory variable, or is it just the residuals?
You know, I've done it both ways, and I don't have a good answer for you, but they came out the same when I highlighted both columns. So
Yeah, I was like, I just did the residuals for that second plot.
I've done it both ways, and they came out identical. I don't know why. Doesn't seem like they should, but.
So you just made a scatter plot. Oh, okay, yeah. All right. So I just made a scatter plot of it. I don't know.
It's really scattered, right?
Yeah, I can share my screen really quick just to see if you guys got something similar. Is that all right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go for it.
Yours looks something like that.
Mine has a few less dots, but yes.
Yeah, look at my spreadsheet real quick. Peter, put that back up for a second, Todd. Yeah, I mean, I have mine as little diamonds, but yeah, mine looks exactly the same.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So off of that, then, can we say that there's a linear relationship between X and Y?
Well, the scatter plot, you know, I put number C or whatever that is. The results are normally distributed. I mean, is that wrong? I know we're supposed to look at that for the QQ. How would you
it
read
says
that?
Check all that apply.
Check. Oh, dang. Okay.
I
Yeah.
do
yes,
think
because it's scattered.
I do think it is normally distributed, though.
Yeah.
Because we don't have the megaphone shape to it. It doesn't seem like there's a pattern.
Yeah.
So I got, okay. Yeah, I was answering that question, but differently. Okay. So
Yeah.
there's a linear relationship, yes.
So I put A and then C.
Assuming that the X values are measured without error. We are assuming that. And that the observations are independent. But we can't, can we figure that out through software? That's the thing that we kind of. Do you know what I'm asking?
Let's see, it's asking which of the 5 assumptions about linear regression are satisfied by this data.
My homework.
I think those are the only 2, I would say.
Do you guys know the do you guys remember this chart where it's the this thing, the linear relationship, the scatter, you know, like, is it asking basically like all these requirements and just kind of like asking if all of these how to checks are fulfilled? So like, so I don't know if we can tell the observations of independent or if they're constant, but we can tell constant variance.
Well, I mean, if you look at that table, it says like 4 and 5 can't be checked directly.
Yeah. So
we're assuming they're normal.
So is the variance of the error term considered constant then?
Yeah, and that's where
there's no megaphone shape.
Right.
So I think we can check all three of the first ones, just not the
Oh,
last.
I missed that one. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the chart and I totally missed that. The variance of the arrows. Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so
Yeah, because I mean, the first one is, basically once you put the data in, it'll show it there.
Yeah.
The error is, when we look at the residuals, and then, if they're normally distributed, there's, they're not the shaping things.
good stuff. Yeah, I think it's those first three.
Yeah, I agree.
And then the slope, unless I did something wrong, it looks like I have 12.695.
Yep.
Yep.
That's comforting. Let's see, lower bound. So is this for it's for B1, okay? Because there's a confidence interval for the y-intercept and for the slope. This is for the slope.
This is for the slope.
So it's the 10.674 for the lower bound.
Mm-hmm.
Too many windows open. Confidence interval. Is that what it was asking me? Said.
Mm-hmm.
Lower bound is the 10.674.
Mm-hmm. Upper bound.
14.715.
Yep.
So based on the evidence, okay, so our hypothesis test, our p-value
Very negative.
That is super small.
A very small number that I think we can safely say is less than our level of significance.
I believe so. I pick C.
So we are rejecting our null hypothesis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so rejecting hypothesis because p-value is less than alpha. So that's C.
Yep.
That's just for B1 slope if we reject them all. What does it mean?
So there's insufficient evidence of the null hypothesis, which is it's equal to 0. So would it be A?
No.
Yeah, A.
There is sufficient evidence. I think it's the last one. There is sufficient evidence to conclude that the slope of the reflection line is not 0. We're rejecting the null, right?
So if we reject the null, then there's sufficient. Oh yeah, you're right. Well, yeah. So because when it says when we reject the null, there is sufficient evidence of the null. Yeah, good catch. Yeah. So there's sufficient.
Sorry, guys. I'm thinking.
Wait, isn't it?
Or wait a minute. We know that it's not.
My brain is dying.
Yeah, it's just like all the weird stuff because
the double negatives.
Yeah. So if we reject the null, then there's sufficient evidence of the alternative hypothesis, and in this case, the alternative hypothesis is that it's not equal to 0.
Right.
So we have sufficient evidence to conclude the slope is not equal to 0.
Yep.
Okay.
That's how I understood it.
Oh joy, crocodiles.
We have so many crocodiles. And there aren't that many.
I saw lots of crocodiles on my mission.
You did?
Yeah.
That's awful.
It's pretty cool though too. I mean, getting to see crocodiles in their natural habitat.
That's like the swamp's pit bulls, you know?
There are some recent converts in a group that I was serving, and they got baptized in croc-infested waters.
Wow, that's terrifying.
Yeah, and then when their friend was getting ready to be baptized, his mom wouldn't let him get baptized in the same place, and I can kind of understand what she would tell him.
Oh, man.
Did they not have a baptismal font?
So in this particular area, These people lived like 2 hours away from the chapel,
Oh wow.
and so it was just way easier to do it where they lived.
Wow,
All right.
that's awful.
But anyways, back to statistics.
Back to statistics.
Da, 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 da.
So the dependent variable.
Is that
That's
what we're trying
headline.
to predict? Is that how you guys understood it?
Yeah. Dependent. Just think about it. It depends on something else.
Okay. My guess was the second one, body length.
Yeah, because
Okay.
body length is what you're. I just remember like dependent is what you're testing.
Okay.
Is that? I'm pretty sure that's right, isn't it?
I think,
Oh yeah, it says head length. I missed where it says head length was used to predict body length. Yeah. So body length is the dependent. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think the body length is what they're testing. So we want to construct a 95% confidence interval, margin of error. Okay, so
this is going to be completely off.
So I think we can actually. So the way that I was thinking about this, so we have the data, right? And the dependent variable is always the what am I thinking here? So the dependent variable is the response variable, and so it's the y variable. So the body length data from the spreadsheet would go in the y column, and then the head length data would go in the x column. If you put that in the spreadsheet, it'll give us the confidence interval, and we can just use the confidence interval for the slope to confine the margin of error by doing upper minus lower divided by 2.
Okay. So we're going back that way, huh?
I think that's the way that I thought of how to solve it.
I agree.
I remember doing that before.
That was our go-to.
1.218. And then we divide it by 2, right?
Yeah. So the head length goes in column X and the body length goes in. Is that right? So the head length will be in explanatory, and then the.
Yeah. So body length should go in explanatory, and then head length should go in response.
I thought
Really.
the dependent variable is the response, so the body length should go in the response.
Okay, yeah. So then if that's the case, guys, let me know what you get. I have a number.
Yeah, because the head length is the independent variable, which goes in column X because it's the explanatory, and the response variable Y is the dependent variable, which is in this case the body length. So with the confidence interval for B1, got 8.103 minus 7. I got 0.443.
Yeah, I didn't round. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, the answer I got was 0.4425, but yeah, rounding is 0.443.
Yeah. Oh, good. I was stuck on that one.
And then, yeah, it wants us to input the lower and upper bound anyways.
Oh, well.
7.218 and 2.103.
Yes, and your lower and upper bound. What can you say about B1? Oh gosh.
I think it's we're 95% confident that the confidence interval. Because I remember from the videos it said for the confidence interval we're X% confident that the true regression slope is between the lower and upper limits. So I'm pretty sure it's A.
We're 95%. In the video? I mean, that's not how they had us answer it, but.
I think so. I mean, I can. submit it just in case, but that's
So
what I thought the video said.
It's A.
I thought that's what the video said.
We are 95% confident. Okay, I'll put A.
Maybe it's either A or B.
Either
So,
A or B. It's the wording, I swear. So close, but you have to be right on.
okay. So I got them all right except for number 6.
Oh no, number 6.
So
6.
that kind of bothers me.
Well, we know the residuals were not all negative, right? So maybe it is that top one.
Yeah.
I'll try it. I'll go ahead and turn it in. You guys ready? All responses.
I don't know why my computer. I'm trying to submit this thing. It's like taking forever.
Six is A.
Okay.
I'll try to do that and figure out how. Everything else. Yay! Whoops, I missed one.
Okay, yay, I got them right.
Wait, 1, 3. How do I do that?
So do we want to knock out the PowerPoint really quick, or at least start it, and then we can finish it on Wednesday?
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I didn't even look at what we're supposed to do for it. Because I think I hoped in my heart of hearts that he'd come through.
Agreed.
So just looking at the Word document for the instructions, there's really only like 5 things that is supposed to be on there. It just says like, include a brief but clear explanation of the project with the question, the population and sample, and include a graph to describe the data and share some of the statistics, include a summary of the hypothesis testing results, a brief summary of what we learned. So it's pretty much just like taking one piece of each thing that we did and putting it into a PowerPoint presentation.
So do we want to make pages and then assign pages and then review it?
For my science class, we did like Google Slides that you can share over Google Docs.
That's what I was thinking. We could do that.
Yeah, I think what we should do is just basically put our part of the project. Like, did it say a slide requirement, like number, like amounts?
It just says your PowerPoint presentation should include the following, and there's a list of like the design, the study, data collection, describe, make inference, take action, and then it just says be sure that each slide is neat and clean. And
okay.
Because honestly, I'm just thinking we each basically just put our part of the project into the PowerPoint and a Google Doc PowerPoint thing.
Hey guys, I'm thinking we should stop recording.
Oh, give me just a second.